was the wedding match expectations, exceed expectations, below expectations? Be honest with me.
It exceeded expectations. So, okay, I met my husband playing Overwatch.
Right?
And so we added each other on BattleNet on
Yeah.
March 10th, 2019.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't date for like 3 years, but I always made him celebrate our friend anniversary, and he was like begrudgingly going along with it. So our wedding day was March 10th, 2024.
Beautiful. All 5 years. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Perfect. That's great. My brother-in-law actually met his wife through Overwatch as well.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cute. I love
Oh,
that. Yeah. So we had a lot of our online, like people from the Discord server came. And then,
that's
I
wild.
had some like college friends there. And then my parents, of course, invited a bunch of
Nice.
people.
That's
Yeah.
sick. That's sick. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Small world, I guess. Okay. Let's get this pulled up then.
Okay.
How's practice been?
I have been on a journey.
All right. Tell me about it.
Wait, I have something for you, actually. I wanted to show
Bless
you.
me. I'm nervous.
No, it's okay. It's all good. Let me find it, though. Here it is. Okay. So last time, like our last session was, I think, a while ago, and we had done Honor, right?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So I have played more comp in the past month than I have in the last 6 years.
Oh, my days.
Okay.
What is that?
Okay,
This is crazy. Okay, please. This is getting me kind of excited. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. So it's an app. It's called Timular.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a free trial. So I just kept doing like a different email address for each month of the free trial. But like I bit the bullet and paid for it. So, and this little like it's called a tracker. It looks like a big pyramid. I don't know what the shape is, but you can put in categories, and so then you can track your activities. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be super mindful and intentional about my Overwatch practice. And so each day since April 5th, because, like post wedding, whatever, like I was super busy. I'm like, okay, now I have time. I'm going to sit down and like really work on this. So I've played almost 70 hours of comp.
That's crazy. I love the mindless Overwatch. Is that just like you queuing in quick play or what?
Yeah, that's when I'm like, and I stopped tracking it because, I don't know, like, I haven't been playing as much quick play lately. But I stopped tracking it because I just kept forgetting to track it. But been really intentional about tracking the aim training and then comp. And then you can see intentional quick play with a question mark, because does it exist? I don't know.
I mean, it exists. It's just the question of like, how valuable is it? So, yeah, I think it definitely exists. Okay. This is cool.
I don't know what journaling is. And I started tracking queue time, and then I realized I could just turn the tracker off during queue.
Right.
So
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Still refining the process.
So you've improved, I assume, the quality of play then overall.
I would say for sure. And also I have been playing DPS.
Okay. Why the transition? I don't hate on that, but why the transition?
So transition happened when the projectile size increases and the health pool changes happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still playing mostly quick play, and I know it's good for my mental health to turn chat off and like not look at what people are saying. But I was getting so tired of like the random tanks in my quick play game like going at me as the Ana player.
Yeah.
When I'm like, it's quick play, right? So like the skill ranges like vary widely, but I'm looking I'm looking for nades. I'm like going on little adventures with my DPS.
Right.
And I'm just getting flamed. Like it felt like every game.
Interesting. So you're just like, I give up. I'm screw you guys. I'm going DPS.
Yeah, I do not get flamed nearly as much these days.
Interesting. So what DPS is the question?
I've been playing Soj only.
Really? How's that going?
Yes. It's so fun. I'm not great. But I have been practicing, and I think I've learned a lot.
Good. Now, why Sojourn? Is it just felt like it had the biggest transferable skill with the things that you already did, or what?
I actually have a few questions I wanted to run by you, or I don't even know if they're questions, more like statements, and you can tell me if it's cope.
Sure.
My main DPS that I play are normally Ashe and Cass.
Yep.
So a lot of Ashe in the past. I would say I say a lot. I have like probably 4,000 hours on support and 200 on DPS.
Yep.
But like 150 of that was Ashe.
Yep.
And I love Ash, but I love the slide.
Yes.
Same. The slide is so fun.
Same.
So yes.
That is
so
not
then
cope.
Okay, yeah.
Slide.
But okay. But get this.
Okay.
So you know how Anna and Ash both have, the zoom.
Yes.
When you shoot. So thousands of hours of my aim practice has been aiming down sights. Yes. I suck at aiming when I'm not zoomed in.
Right.
It's so wild. Like Cass, Soldier, Soj, even like Ilari.
Yeah.
Aim is not nearly as good as like Anna and Ash.
Right. There's a very important reason why that's the case, which some of you might not be considering. It's not just your POV change, it's your movement speed. Because when you are not scoped, you're moving at full speed. So your crosshair's down to move more erratically if your strafe patterns are more erratic. Whereas when you're scoped, you're slowing down. So any crazy movement you do is like, I don't even know what scope movement speed is, but it has to be like half or less.
Right.
So that's going to dramatically affect your aim. Now, being aware of that might mean that we change some of your movement patterns, but it's not going to be like, it's just going to be aware that that's not out of the question. That's not unusual.
Okay. So I thought that was odd, but like once I figured it out, I've just been putting a lot more time into Vaxta on like, well, obviously on Soj, but onto like Cast too.
Sure. Okay. More statements. I will say that's not cope. There's logic behind it. We can maybe talk about how we could fix that once we get into the review.
Sure. Next, I guess, more question is like after the rank reset, have we all just kind of been knocked down like a full division? Or not division, like a full, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. What it had happened is I heard it from Gavin Winter himself, and he told me that the reason that they did the rank reset, because I was a big enemy of the rank reset, it's cope, it's not going to fix games, it's the same thing. Anyway, I won't go down that rabbit hole. But basically, the reason why he said they did it is because there was too many GM players and there were too many Bronze 5 players.
Okay.
And that has been addressed. So is GM too hard to get to now? I don't know what the percentage breakdown is. I have no idea. But yes, everyone has been knocked down. Essentially, I would say maybe not a full rank, but 3 or 4 tiers.
Okay, because I peaked GM2 on support, and I'm Masters 2 right now, which I think is just brushing like the bottom of top 500.
Yep, that's normal. That's normal with where I'm at right now. I've coached I don't even know how many people since the rank reset, and I will say the vast majority of them have dropped at least about a full rank since the rank reset.
I've done a pretty good job of like resetting my expectations. I think I'm like, oh, okay, Masters is pretty good now.
Yeah.
So I have not been stressed about my rank. Okay, and then one more thing. So I was playing on an alt account. That like I got it, like I hand level it up to play comp. And then I only played Soj on that for a while.
Right.
And the games are so hard.
Interesting.
The games are so hard. Like there's obviously like a negativity bias here, but it feels like every game, like I have the most limbs, like the least amount of deaths. Like I'm working so hard, and then we're just not succeeding. So then I played probably like 30 hours this season on that account. And I peaked Plat 1, and then I just went free fall to Plat 5. Right. And so then I was like, the games are so hard. And then I was on my main account, and then I was like, you know what? Like, whatever. I'm just going to play comp on my main for DPS because I have the Vigilante Sojourn skin.
Yeah, good choice.
So I was like, okay, we'll flex the skin. So I start playing. I'm at Diamond 4 right now, and I have like a 72% win rate, and it's been like 20 hours.
Not bad. That's not bad.
And the games are maybe it's like, I don't know, perception, but the games feel completely different. Like it doesn't feel like the enemy team is just fully stacked every single game.
Yeah, it's perception. Okay. But being aware of that, and I think playing in your main in general is not necessarily a bad thing. So, I think if anything, alt accounts can be a crutch. unless you're learning a brand new hero and you're going to be really bad at it. But yeah, like if you're more comfortable playing your main, play in your main, whatever.
Yes. Okay.
I wouldn't overthink it. Might be a little bit of cope, but it's not that big. It's not an unproductive cope. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Yeah, I've been on a big mental journey, like going through like, oh, because I was like, oh my goodness, like, am I just trash? And then turns out, yeah, I actually just have to get a little better.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're like making that harsh of a transition. Like we're not picking up Zen here, where it's a totally different role.
Yes. And it's been so fun, honestly.
Good. I'm glad. That's the most important thing, right? If you want to get good, you have to have fun. If you have fun, you get good. That's it.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying trying to figure out the puzzle that is like DPS positioning.
Yep.
I was hoping. So I saw also. This was awesome. I saw you were super booked out for coaching.
Yeah.
So I set this appointment forever ago as like an accountability thing. Like, okay, I'm gonna like keep practicing because I know I'll have to talk to you.
Yep.
And then if I haven't practiced, I'll feel bad. So.
Right. That's right. Social pressure. I will bully, abuse, yell, screech, holler, and slam my desk. So
yes, thank you.
You've earned the right to be here. So congratulations. Okay. So I know we talked a lot about schedule last time. We probably don't have to rehash that unless you have any questions.
Schedule is really good right now. I think the thing I need to do more is self-thought review.
Okay. I know we talked a little bit about that because I'm looking back and I'm seeing the replay viewer guide and I'm like, yeah, I know what that's all about. So talk to me about that then.
So I think it's just, and part of it is like, so I've been having this issue. I'm not like dissociating during games, but everything feels so fast and hectic to me on DPS in a way it doesn't when I'm playing support.
Why do you think that is?
I assume it's lack of experience.
I would agree with that. Might also be where you're positioning yourself because you're forced to be more proactive. And we're not just talking about any DPS. We're talking about Sojourn, mobility DPS, right? So there's going to be more happening on your screen. Continue.
Right. And so I feel like during the games, like I'll feel so overwhelmed, like having fun. Yeah. But like so overwhelmed. And then I'll watch my VOD through the replay viewer. And, I'm chill. I'm sitting here. Like there's no pressure. And I'm like, what was I thinking?
Right.
Like, what was I doing?
Right. Okay. So you're saying that replay viewer is like showing you that you're making maybe not more mistakes than you think, but it's bringing to light issues that otherwise you're not really paying enough attention to in game, correct?
Yeah, I would say that. And then I've been like almost shying away from watching the replay viewer because it's like, oh, my mistakes are so obvious and yet I continue to make them. But then I also think I need to go easy on myself because it's only been a month and a half.
Yeah. And remember, it's like, we're not critiquing your ability to recognize the situation. You're critiquing your ability to be focused on it in the moment. The reason why you review is to give you food to chew on, right? Mm-hmm. So, or to evaluate like your progress, right? So like, yeah, of course, don't be, I mean, how good of a coach you think I'd be if every bronze I reviewed, I beat on them for every single mistake.
Right.
It'd be totally unproductive, right? So you need to try and be a good coach to yourself. And I guess the question is then, if these are things that you're looking at, why aren't you reviewing more? Is it really just the whole, like, I'm too hard on myself thing? Is it like, do you lose motivation? Like, well, what's the deal?
Maybe losing motivation, or also I just need to be more intentional about it and like bake it into my schedule. Like thinking, okay, like Wednesday afternoons, I'll like make sure I VOD review 2 or 3 games.
Sure. Well, I wouldn't even say that much because that seems like we're talking about like, why do I hate vegetables so much? Because Mom, you're feeding me like 5 pounds of Brussels sprouts. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 or 3 games is probably not necessary for improvement or even just a status check, right? I would say even just look at a couple of team fights in a couple of different games. That might be a good way of looking at it. Another way to look at it is the VOD review, team fights where you felt really useless and didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So like, let's say you just played a game, you felt really confused about what to do. Go back and look at just that team fight, right? Like basically, here's what I'd recommend. In the same way that you're more purposeful with your schedule, like there's not just randomly working, but there's a rhyme or reason why you're doing the things that you're doing. Mm-hmm. Let's try and aim to do that with VOD review as well, in terms of like making it reasonable with not just having a schedule, but what are you VOD reviewing? When are you VOD reviewing? Why are you VOD reviewing? You know what I'm saying? Is it I'm trying to figure out how to play this map better? Am I trying to find out what I need to be working on with my CDs, with my positioning? Am I trying to give myself something new to work on? Am I checking how my cooldown usage is? Like if you don't have a reason to VOD review besides just general improvement, then you should not be VOD reviewing.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's something that I think that you just need to spend some time in your own thinking about. Like, what do I want out of a VOD review with Sojourn, right?
Right.
Like, for example, today we'll give you some stuff to work on, but then maybe your first VOD review with Sojourn on your own is instead going to be evaluating how you are doing at the things that we gave you to work on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Any other questions?
One last question is, so obviously my YouTube algorithm gets me a lot of Overwatch content.
Yep.
And I've been watching a few of the like Overwatch dailies, watching Gale Adelaide play Hitscan. And he plays, you know, a lot of like Soj and Ash. And so like I'll watch the games that they've uploaded and I feel like he never takes an off angle. So I was just gonna ask you about that because I feel like he's rarely on the angle. It just kind of feels like he's just relying on his mechanics.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, these are probably not the thing I want to be watching for like how to play Soj.
Yep, I agree. Gale Adelaide is an old school hitscan player from like literally the first day of Overwatch 1. Played a lot of Ana, just basically point and click OTP. Not really a playmaker. I don't know how familiar you are with Overwatch 1, Overwatch League, excuse me. You ever heard of a player called Kai or KSP?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically he's just like aim guy, right? Like the British aim guy, the Western, but he's not very creative with his positioning and he's notoriously bad at taking angles. So that he's like really struggles on a lot of characters that are more proactive, which is Sojourn. So I think, Sojourn is really, really important that you're taking like angles and making plays and so on. And like Kai was like not very good with Sojourn. Like he's okay, like he's pretty good. He's good with Sojourn, but that's by far his weakest aspect of his Sojourn. Like if you have perfect cooldown usage and really good mechanics and you have like a decent understanding of angles, like you can get away without being perfect at it, right? But the reason why we put a lot of emphasis on it is because it's an easy way of immediately improving your ability with like the littlest return on investment. Because like just having perfect mechanics, like, you know, that's not really reasonable for the amount of time that most people play the game.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
Yep. All right. Do you want to look at a replay code here?
Yes, I do have a code for you.
All right.
Let me get it real quick.
Sure.
Something that I've been struggling with more on Soj is I've been psyching myself out a little bit in the 1v1s.
Yes. So as in you're stressing when you get over, like what to do?
Like, so if I'm, and I think again, right, I think I know the answer. It's going back to a comfort thing. Like if someone tries to 1v1 me on Ana, like I am not phased. But if I see, oh my goodness, if I see an enemy Sojourn, I get just super psyched out.
Yeah. It's practice. It might also be, you might need to spend more time in deathmatch with Sojourn as well. Okay. I think one of the things that changes with Sojourn is that there's like two types of Sojourn, all right? Or two situations. There's you hold an angle, you build rail, you just kill people over and over and over again. It's like the uninteractive sniper Sojourn, right? Like look at what you got right now. You got a mercy pocket. Pretty much every 1v1's not fair. You're going to be building rail really quickly. GG's, okay? The other type of Sojourn is you're on an angle, and a Genji dives you. You don't have any help. How do you win that 1v1? You're going to have Disruptor Shot. You're going to do damage and then rail him at like 40 charge because he's low and he's not getting healing. It's just messy, okay? It's messy. Right. And it's those messy 1v1s, not just the raw sniper 1v1s, but the messy 1v1s that matter with Sojourn, and that's what's important. For example, when I'm coaching Sojourns, I'm always chastising people for railing full HP targets with 100 charge. I'm like, bro, hit a couple of shots first so that you can actually get the headshot, right, and get the kill, right?
Right.
But all that goes off the table if you're on a flank and a Genji shows up or a Tracer shows up. You know, you don't need to get to 100 rail. Maybe they take some chip damage and you just blast them, right? So it's like finding the difference between 1v1s and just sniping. And I think that's where like getting more deathmatch practice might help you. And then again, just confidence, just reps. Like you said, it's just confidence and reps.
Okay. I've been playing more unranked deathmatch too. Yep. But something, and I know this is just something I have to get over, and I've been, doing better about it. But when like I'm like, okay, I'm in here to practice. The thing that just tilts me is when people are like, I'm losing, let me go ball. There was like a match a few days ago. There were 4 wrecking balls just chasing me around. And I'm like, okay.
But think about it this way. How good are you at railing wrecking ball in the head?
Like, well, I mean, he was rolling around. But
okay, sure. But they got to come out sometimes,
taken.
right?
Yeah, point taken.
right. So that's not something you're going to be getting a lot of practice on in games. So you might as well, like, everything is a training opportunity. Everything, every adversity, every obnoxious tank swap.
Right.
If there's 3 Sombras, that have hacked all the health packs, it's like it's just a different type of an ankle weight is all it is.
Right. And that's something I've been, getting better on. There was like a lot of stress on me with like not knowing if I was going to have a job or not. And like, that's been relieved finally. So,
Yep. Good.
But yeah, just been being like, okay, I'm practicing even if we're losing this game. Right. And it has reduced almost all of my comp anxiety. Like my mechanics are still shaky because I still get nervous, but now it's like, oh, this is an opportunity to practice. Like I'm not worried about losing.
Right. Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear that then. Okay. Let's take a brief look here. I might ask you if you're down to do some live coaching the back end of the session.
I would love to do some live coaching. But whenever I stream Overwatch, my entire computer shuts off.
Oh, I see. Well, that might get in the way. That's fine. If we can't do it, it's all right. That's all right. So you could just narrate it to me. Okay, well, I'm on the, that'll be perfect. I like the angle here. It's good. And this is the habit that we're going to beat over the head with a wooden spoon until it goes away. Disruptor shot's fine. Angle is aggressive, but fine. You have your slide. Okay. You're on 15 charge. You're on 20 charge. You're on 25 charge, and you body shot Rail to Hanzo at almost full HP.
Okay, I have to ask you a question.
Yes.
I think something is wrong with me because what I have been working on for the past month is, don't laugh, rail discipline.
Right.
And as soon as a DPS looks at me, it goes out the window. So I feel like every game I'm like, okay, I'm going to, like, I'm so naive. I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on my rail discipline this game. And then it's just, I don't know. Am I stupid? It's just so hard to.
Well, yes, possibly. But I mean, it's also, it's also a very hard mechanical skill, no? Right? Like it takes a lot of, like, it's because when it matters, it's usually when you're the most laser focused on your mechanics. It's awkward, right? I mean, we talked about this with like, even like something with like sleep dart management, right? When you're under the most pressure, you have to calm down. But reminding yourself to do that could be one of the most challenging skills for new Ana players. Same thing with you. You're just unfamiliar. So one thing about these kind of skills is these are the skills that you need to be working on, especially in those unranked death matches. Okay. Especially. Track the number you're on, use the audio cues that you have, and work at it over and over and over and over again. And go into it not just like I'm going to work on my rail discipline. I'm going to work on my rail discipline when I'm under pressure or when I'm dueling people.
Okay.
That's going to be your challenge. And see here, I don't even know if that necessarily be rotating away. Like, I mean, if it was at the Cassidy, then maybe I would.
And I wanted to go top right, and then I was nervous and just messed up my slide.
Yeah, I noticed there. That's all right. Same thing here. I think what's happening is you're letting the audio cue with the Mercy thing. It's like, this is fine, but remember, you do need to hit like 1 or 2 shots in this Lucio, even with Mercy Pocket. Because if that's a headshot, that guy lives, and that hurts my feelings, right? Like, that sucks to hit a headshot that good with damage boost, and you still don't win it? Like, come on. You just need to practice your 1v1s. Like, this should be causing secondhand embarrassment for you, right? Because you took the angle, you hit the disruptor shot, you tracked well, and then your brain just goes off into, like, La La Land.
Yep.
Like, you didn't even flick. You have this. Please. Ah! Okay, so he's busy screaming at his supports. And I like the angle here. I like the disruptor shot, but my days, that is some of the worst mechanics I've ever seen in my life.
Do you want to see even worse mechanics?
I don't know. Do I?
You're about to.
I'm about to? Okay, bless me. I like this, by the way. 45 charge. Disruptor shot. 65. I think if that headshots, I think he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. 33 HP, 100% dead. So this is good. This was good. But yes, I'm ready for the horrible mechanics.
Okay, because it's coming right now.
Again, real. Oh my days. Okay. First off, you shouldn't be railing when he's like literally 10 HP. Just shoot him at that proximity. But yeah.
So this is something I've been struggling with too. Is just like my Soj mechanics in general. I almost feel like I don't know if I need to go. I'm seriously considering going to the optometrist because I don't know if like I need to get glasses.
Could be.
Because that could be some of it too. But I feel like the targets move and I just don't move my mouse. Like there's no like nerve connection to my hand. I'm like, okay, I need to move, and I just don't.
That could be psychological, probably more so than anything else. I mean, I'm not an optometrist, so I don't know. But I will say that it's probably more psychological. And I'm telling you, you need to. This is where I really think you need to get out of Axta, because it just doesn't. Because if it's psychological, you know it's robots. You know, it just doesn't. It doesn't have the same level of consequences. You need to expose yourself. You need to go in and like right now. The first thing you do when you hear Hanzo behind you, cover. Okay, relax. Because I know you're going to miss the shot. Wait, did you hit that? Hang on a second. Am I a fraud? I might be a fraud. There's a chance that I might be a fraud. You did hit it, I think. Dang it, I'm a fraud. Okay, but see, that do you see how messy that was?
Yes.
But you won it. You hit the shots when it mattered. That's crucial. You got to win these.
Agreed.
You got to win these. So you need to go through and you need to be like, it's not just the real discipline, but like you said, it's the ability to like stay calm, don't overthink your mechanics, and just confidently take the 1v1. If you lose, again, it's okay. It's all right. Do it again.
Right.
You got to be patient with yourself. I think this angle is bad. I think it's too close. I think it's too close for your character. I think this angle, while not optimal in terms of like angle, it's still an angle. It's good enough. This feels a little bit ballsy, but I respect the intention. And if you'd hit the headshot rail there, that Cassidy dies. So I think what I'm seeing here is like you're kind of going for like these deep flanks when you just really need to be holding more soft angles, if that makes sense. The thing is, it's like deep flanks are okay-ish if you have heals and or if you have distance. You had neither. Remember, you're more like that on a range, right? And because you have to build a rail to be most effective, sometimes you're not immediately impactful. Like, for example, if I'm playing Hanzo, I'm more like mid long range, like Sojourn, right? But I could get value here because I can start doing damage now, like immediately killing people, right?
Right.
You don't do that. You don't really do that much. So you need time, and that's time where they can clear you out. So what I like with Sojourn is not necessarily soft angles all the time, but you need to find an angle that you can hold for 2, 3, 4 seconds before you get pushed out.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, don't watch that either.
I think I'm gonna watch that. That was good. Okay. Let's watch that one more time. Just one more time. Okay, it's good. Good rotation here. Yeah, that was good. I like that. That was really good. Thank you.
I've been practicing.
Yes, it's good. I can tell. My Spylo student really the next level. Okay. Yeah, like this is the kind of angle that you want, right? Like it's not perfect. There's not really a great angle here. I think you might be able to get the top, but I think you have to do it from payload. So I don't think obviously you can do it here, but this is fine.
You can do the Sojourn tech to get up there.
Oh, the bounce one? Okay, yeah. Good to know. In which case, if you can have Mercy Pocket, maybe that's not too bad. I think this angle here is fine, though. I really think this is good. Disruptor shot's a little bit... Oh, look at you. Just flexing on me.
Well, okay. Remember that VOD review you did with Lexa on Soj?
Yeah, how could I forget?
Yeah, well, it was very impactful because it taught me the Soj tech. So then I spent like a day just practicing it.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, there you go. Unfortunate. Should have stayed. It's like one of those things where it's like, it kind of contradicts what I was saying earlier, where like, I feel like I can't really stay here without getting shot, but you can. You could just crouch and then peek again, and then crouch, and then peek again, crouch and peek again. It plays your range perfectly. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So at least you come back. Yeah.
I know. Oh my god.
Yeah. The last 2 rails have been good. Like that one, obviously she had basically already died, but like I could tell like your attention to your mechanics is better, and you're also like timing your rails much better. Like that one as well, right? Like you kind of panic there, but if that headshots, he dies. So it is like you're saying, like I keep working on it, I keep failing. Well, 30-40% of your rails have been fine. You know, like that's probably better than when you first started. So like it just takes time. Again, like perfect, right? Like you really boil it, you boiled it down perfectly. Positioning is good here. Patience is good here. The angle's good. You have your disruptor shot. It's good. Yeah, I don't really have any complaints here. Only thing I'd say is give that Hanzo a little bit more respect so that, like, if he does headshot you, you can duck behind cover quickly. So I think you're wide peeking. Like, you don't need to see the Ana like this, right? Sure. You just need to see the Ana like this, just like that. And then, like that, I could tell you're under pressure because he's just trailed an Ana at 35 charge. Relax, relax, relax. And then also I can see you start to move forward. You're dead now, right? Oh, no. But you see, you start to get a little antsy, and you start to press W. You start to lose the position. That being said, because we don't want to be negative Nancy here, the angle itself was good. It was the right choice. The best position on the entire map that you could help. Nice job.
Thank you. Great
rail timing there. Great angle here. This guy's dead. I can just smell it. I can just tell the confidence. Ah! Dang it! I'm quitting this job, man. I'm quitting this job. Okay, I'm done. All right. Okay. Little charge. Too early. Too early. Make them commit to the fight, or at least hold an angle where you're good to go. Now, I will say, it might work because the Ram has committed. So maybe that's your logic here. I would just wait a little bit longer. And then crucially here, this is something we actually talked about with your Ana, if I remember correctly. It just needs to be better covered. It just does. You're just a little too far forward.
And then I was getting antsy because it's like, hell, I just popped OC. I have to do something right now.
Right. Exactly. But I want you to be so attentive to the timing of when you're doing it that, like, okay, this is guaranteed value right here. That you don't have to feel that because, like, think about it this way. If you've isolated the entire backline, then there's value to be had elsewhere. So don't worry too much. Again, everything for you, I think, with your mechanics, with your ult timing, with your positioning, comes down to just right. That's all it is. Right. If you do that, you're cooking. Right? We've seen some nice disruptor shots. We've seen some nice rail timings. We've seen some nice ults. We've seen some really nice angles. It's just inconsistent, and the consistent factor in that inconsistency is almost like not your emotional state, but like your mental state, like the pressure that you're putting on yourself. Like right now, I feel like there's going to be a lot of pressure, and things are going to get messy. Maybe not, but like here, like you don't need to back off. You're good. Stay here. Stay here.
I have a hard time knowing when I need to back off and when I need to stay.
Do you have cover? Do you have range? The answer is yes. Then stay. You could look at this and say, I wanted to back off because I felt like they were getting too close. If that's the case, that's fine. But then where do you rotate to from here?
Probably top right.
Top right. Find the next angle. Don't just back off indiscriminately.
Me on Lucio.
Somehow I believe that. It's okay. I wouldn't even be able to wall ride that high on Lucio.
I played ball for the first time ever a few weeks ago, and my husband cried. He was laughing so hard.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm glad you guys are. That's something else. Yeah. Yeah, ball is my Twitch chat's favorite thing. They're like, what should I play? Wrecking Ball or Widowmaker? It's always the same two characters. They just really hate me. Yeah, I have no idea either. But yeah, really quick here. I think for you, I have been very pleased when you're thinking. The only position I didn't really like was the close angle on the close second. Remember that? Got it. Your strategy besides that seems pretty solid. It's more about how you're handling the mechanical pressure of the 1v1s and how it's reflecting in your cover usage and when and how you're railing. Those are the two big things.
I guess
Yep.
the diagnosis, like what's the solution for that? Just play more
We'll
unranked
talk about it. We'll
deathmatch?
talk
Oh, we'll
about it.
talk about it. Okay.
I want to keep playing a little bit more to make sure that my diagnosis isn't like I'm not diagnosing you with like cancer and it's like, oh, you just got a nosebleed. You know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
let's just wait a second.
I have one more question as we're like talking about this, or more of like a statement. So before I used to kind of like, before I started like, learning about taking an angle, timing, pressure, all this stuff that you always talk about.
Yeah.
I would just like go main and like follow the tank, and then I would like have the most deaths on the team on DPS, and I would be like, why am I terrible? So now I've been like really focusing on, okay, like where's the team fight happening? Where do I want to be? But it's not as instinctual as I want to be. Like I will still default sometimes to my Ana, like, everyone's moved up. Let me sit on the cart. So but I think this game I was like trying to, in between team fights, I was trying to be like, okay, where do I need to be next?
It's showing.
Which is good, which is something I've like not done before.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely shows. Definitely shows. I feel like you've been messy but impactful this game, right?
Thank you.
I think the best way to put it is you need to be the type of player, not that feeds necessarily, but you want pressure on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to go in there and be like, if we're going to lose, it's going to be because I took an angle that didn't work.
Yeah.
Right. And if you do and you fail, great, you learn something from it. But like you need to be the type of player that like kind of looks for that pressure, and not to try and be the carry, but just does pressure is a threat. Like they're not going to play this game and forget that you're in the game. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why that's so important is so that like when you lose the game, you learn something from that failure, and like you learn trial and error. Whereas if you're like playing it before, it's like you just kind of like all you can be is like, oh, I could have shot better, right? But you feel like impactful, like you were a thorn on their side here, and then you killed the Cassidy, and that was a huge scare. And then you scared everybody here, and everybody freaked. And then you killed the people that pushed you, and then you took the angle here, and then you made the ramp push you, and then in fact the entire team chased you. And then, then you were like the only reason the enemy team couldn't turn the corner for like 2 minutes, right?
Right.
And so like you're failing, but like you're forcing yourself to adapt and learn and improve. And
we're failing forward.
Right, we're failing forward, right? And even stuff like this here, like you're impactful, like you're controlling space right now. Like you had a Cassidy on the way out before your Winston even jumped, right? It's just stuff like that, like where you could tell, like there's just some mechanical goose. The things are not super fluid, right? 20.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you headshot him, he lives easily, right? It's just the minor things like that, right? And then even like that disruptor shot, it's like I don't hate it, but I think your first choice here should be to what?
I kind of want to go up where my Winston is.
Yeah, exactly. You need to position yourself, right? Position yourself, then use your CDs. Like right now, you're disruptor shotting, but like, why are you here? And this is obviously not the best positional choice either because it's too far out in the open. Mm-hmm. In addition, if you had your disruptor shot now, you'd be able to make a much better decision with it, right? Than what you did. So I like the rotation. The rotation just wasn't perfect, and it was late.
Yes.
But again, I could tell that you are thinking. 70-80 charge. If you headshot this Cassidy, he dies. Didn't flick your crosshair to the head though, so he doesn't die.
Oh yeah, I don't move my crosshair.
You need to. Small habits. However, is a habit to practice in Vaxta.
I think Vaxta has been conditioning me to they will just walk back in front of my crosshair.
Yes. What Vaxta will do is it will condition you to aim with the target and not aim with your right hand.
Right.
Because the target will make the movement for you. So what you need to do with Vaxta is turn the movement all the way up to the most difficulty if you're going to use it. Because that's the only really truly unpredictable movement. And then, like you said, make sure that you're aiming with your crosshair, not with your keyboard.
Yeah, the mechanics on Sojourn are a big factor. I was playing a game on Rialto, and we got, they pushed us all the way back. Like, they capped 3 points. It felt like in a minute. And then my team was attacking, and I was like, okay, like, we're going to lose this game. I know I'm learning Soj. I'm going to go Ashe real quick. I went Ashe. I killed 5. And then I was like, okay, that's the issue. And then I swapped back to Soj, and we lost.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I like the angle here. I like the angle here, though.
Okay.
Again, I just think this is just where you would need to choose the better angle that has more consistent cover. That's all.
Right.
And then you don't rotate to a better angle. You second guess yourself. And another thing too as well, it's like with this mess of a rail right here, check this out. You got, like, look at that, 35 charge, 40 charge, 50 charge. That would have hit, right? I mean, that would have been a kill if you'd hit it. But then you're like, it's messy, it's stressful. I'm going to go back and shoot tank. No. You need to keep pressuring these guys. You need to keep pressuring these guys because then they're going to poke you out and then you end up leaving the angle entirely.
Yep.
Nice. We should have killed him, but it was the right choice and not the right rail number. Okay.
I got a little greedy there.
Uh-huh. Suffering. Interesting set of ultimates there. But again, this is where you, like, this is where I can see the brains just, like, slowly turning off.
It's like leaking out my ear.
You know, control some space. Make a play here. You got a rail. Like, build this rail even here. Slide up top. Go. Let's go. There you go. But the problem is this is just so much time has been wasted. You know, like, even with the Ram ult. Like, he pops ult. Just get up here. Get away from it. Get away from it. Punish the backline. It's going to be walking forward to try and capitalize off of it. And if you take damage, just hide. And the irony here is that, like, you've been totally inept and inert for the last, what, minute and a half? And then you choose the most insanely risky 1v1 possible, not to your effective range, with no charge, and without Mercy Pocket or Disruptor Shot. So it's like we're going to opposite ends of the spectrum here. This is too close. You should lose this. There you go. I mean, I appreciate this, but this is, how would you approach this differently?
Maybe I could just sit here.
Yeah, just sit here. Again, it's mid-range, right?
Right.
Build my rail. Then I can go in. And at that point, you honestly just slide in. Slide in quickly, just light them up, right? You're a pretty good 1v1 character in close range if, right? Otherwise, you just need to take the more passive angle. But yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, you almost pulled another one on me. Okay, let's see here. All right, impact. Doesn't have to be the deepest angle. I think that's the key thing that we've seen from the second point defense and this first point attack is it doesn't always have to be like these crazy flanks. It could just be an angle, a sightline, right? It could just be an angle like a sightline. That's all.
Okay.
So, like, I respect this now because at least you have your disruptor shot. So you have, like, a higher chance of winning, right? Nice job. But that's still not a favorable 1v1 for you. I'm going to be honest. Like, if that was me on Cassidy, you're gonna die 100%.
Oh, I would have died before I turned the corner.
Yeah. Easily, because I just have that capability, you know. But, like, seriously though, like, you got to be careful. Now this I really like because is this easily kiteable by the enemy backline? No. If they do kite, is there going to be somebody isolated? Yes. Do you have slide to pursue? Yes. You have all. This is great. The only thing I would encourage you not to do is when you deepen, don't necessarily cut to the heart, chop off a leg.
Got it.
Okay, go around, carve them up like a turkey. Don't just, like, stick your nut. But you're carving a turkey, you don't just, you know, stab it with a butcher knife right to, you know, like you gotta use finesse here. So I appreciate you pushing as you create opportunities there, but, like, you could push by wrapping your angle and you're feeling it now. I can sense it. Look at you. I mean, honestly, I it's a feed, kind of, but I respect it. Like, I mean, it's all right. Good mechanics. A little bit of an extension. The slide, unfortunately, kind of locks you in that one direction, which kind of sucked. But yeah, I respect it. You're thinking about it. Now, this let's not lie here. Is there a good attack option for you here?
I don't. Okay.
Rough,
the only thing, if we're pretending Cass isn't up there, the only thing is maybe the top window.
Yeah.
But I think it's easy to get poked out of there.
Yeah, I agree. If you had, like, support pocket, maybe, but yeah, I agree. It's awkward, right? It's very, very awkward. So this is where you want to smoke a little bit. I'm okay with it. If there's not a better option, do a little acid, you know? Like, it's all right. Like you got nothing else better to do. Like, at least here, like, again, like, here you have impact. Now, the question would be, how do you maximize that impact? Don't just, like, turn the brain off. Oh, there's no good position. I'm just going to be dumb. Okay, well, come on. What do you do? How do you do this? When do you do this? Where do you do this? What do you think?
I honestly don't know.
I think you got two choices here. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I think should have saved Disruptor shot, but I was trying to prevent him, like disincentivize him from like jumping out the window.
I don't mind. There's a reason behind this. Like it does something, right? It kind of puts him out of the fight. It's fine. It's fine. No big deal.
Right. I think I could have even gone farther to the right.
Yep.
Yeah.
More chaos, higher risk, higher reward. I think you have this, or you go for the low risk, low reward play, which is basically the same angle that you're taking, but just play the cover better. Because what ends up happening is you press W here, but you actually get nothing out of this. Like you get nothing out of being here, as opposed to here. So what I would have done is, so I would have just been like kind of like a rat here, just a rat, just build your charge, distract, or fully cash out, all in. Texas Hold'em, you get what I'm saying? Those are your options. You kind of in between, and you didn't really and so now like what ends up happening is you get cleared really easily when you should have been a lot harder to clear or should have stayed a lot longer. Same kind of thing there. Again, like you get a little bit impatient, you don't really do much. That being said, again, I appreciate the mindset. I appreciate you trying to be impactful because okay, because something had to happen to break the choke, right? There's no good angle, so somebody has to do something, but that was pretty funny. You're killing me. I mean, again, you have disruptor shot, so it's all right, but it's like one of those situations where you have space, you don't have to take the duel with Cassie at point blank range. Again, if this is me, you die instantaneously.
Okay, so if this was you, what should I have done? Just like...
Tell me.
Okay.
You've won the fight. You've won the fight, or you have a lot of space. Is there another longer mid-range angle? Surely, somewhere. Like, like maybe we go up here, or maybe we're here, right? Like, this fight is devolved. You're fine. You're going to find an angle to take. This just doesn't play to your effective range. That's it. Sure. If this is a Widowmaker, different story. Even as Zen, I might feel okay with this. Cassidy? No. You're dead. Your Sojourn bailed you out. Your Kiriko bailed you out, rather.
Yes, my Kiriko was a bro.
Typing?
Yes. I know I shouldn't be. Okay, I was typing because our, Ana players are near and dear to my heart, right?
Yes.
Our Ana was sitting in spawn and she just kept whining about the cast nearby, and she says, if no one clears this cast, I can't walk out of spawn. And I said, you could be like our Curie and help your DPS, and she said no.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And then I was like, okay, I'm turning chat off.
I thought that was BMing the Cassidy. I was like, oh, well, okay. Toast is getting kind of saucy with this. All right,
I don't talk shit. I'm very nice.
By the way, this is one of those positions, again, where I think that, like, you got to ask yourself, like, how do I want to approach this? Because, like, your strategy here is, like, sound. The execution is just ugly as I am. Like, you need to choose here, or here, or like just legit cash out and go to like here or here, because it's again one of those angles where like you don't quite make up your mind, and so you just kind of hover in the open. You see that?
I think I moved to the left a little bit because I realized it was bad.
Right, but only after you've taken 83 damage.
Yes, here. I do not move fast enough
or more. I mean, I like this. I actually like this. Like, just peeking here and being really stupid. Like, this is what I like to say for, like, beginner Sojourn players. This is using your kit, right? Like, what other DPS hit scan could take an angle like this with this level of impunity? Really not many, right? So this is good. Like, you're doing Sojourn things. You're just not always doing them wisely or well. Sometimes you're getting too close. Sometimes you're playing in the open. Sometimes you don't hit a single shot. Okay, I lied. You just have the absolute worst timing of anybody I've ever known. I think this is my love coaching for you. I'm just going to say you're going to miss this shot over and over and over again and watch you just, and 100% rail crit accuracy. I think that's going to be the strategy. I'm going to charge a lot for that. We're going to be the fastest top 500 ever. You're going to be champ 1 or something crazy.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I'm ready.
Again, this is like perfect, right? All I'm going to see here is good cover usage. This is like legit perfect. It's a longer angle. You have space. You have verticality. They can't match it. You pop your ult here if you'd like to. Once you get healing, and you're this is over. Pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it. Okay, so the theory of what you did was fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. From that, I will have no comment.
Okay, sure.
But really, the theory of what you had was fine. The only thing I would say here is this is why the cooldown usage is important. Because where should your disruptor shot go?
Probably where Cass is.
Because what would that make him do?
Move behind that pillar.
And that's exactly what's going to allow you to... I mean, you use your disruptor shot, then pop your ultimate, then he has to move into your shot. He's dead. You get what I'm saying? So this is just mechanical execution, but the angle of what you have, if you could actually hit this Cassidy once, he's dead. And then free reign on backline. That's it.
Right.
You couldn't ignore him because he would have killed you. You just missed your shots and missed your cooldowns. The angle itself was good. Again, this first priority there, in my opinion, needs to be disruptor shot. Like, the disruptor shot can be used to allow you to hit shots easier after. I know a lot of people use the rail into disruptor shot combo, but disruptor shot first is what allows you to hit your rail.
Right.
So just keep that in mind. I actually think it could have stayed. Nice. Wait. Ah, my days. Okay. Do you see again with the disruptor shot? Just peek disruptor shot, shoot immediately. Make her move, and then she's screwed. Because once she starts to move, she's stuck in that predictable movement. She's dead.
Right.
I don't mind this angle. It's a little awkward, but you could probably poke on main and then peek this with the rail later if you want to, but you need to make the move backwards first by frontal pressure. Sure. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this too. Just keep shooting. It's the Alexa Vadrady all over again. Yeah, again, you are an impact on this battlefield right now. Nice. Nice. There's movement again. Honest totally out of LOS. It's the rail stuff here, right? Like right here. Like this body shot has to hit. And by the way, this guy is nowhere near headshot ready. Nowhere near. You want to guess how much HP he has? Just guess.
Okay, I'm gonna guess 327.
I'm gonna guess 375. Get rolled. I mean, look at that. That's a crazy, right? That is not anywhere near headshot ready.
So
That's like you take half of his HP. Think about that. Half with a headshot, right? So obviously you need to relax and hit that shot, but it also you don't blame him railing. Just keep shooting.
Okay.
Again, though, I mean, I will say, like, all negatives aside, this position's OP. You've been a thorn in these guys' side, like, for a long time. Oh my days. Please tell me you guys won't lose to that. Kill, 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 kill. No!
We lose this game.
Oh no, no. That was a disaster. Okay, true story. I got an even sadder story. I think it was Venture. Might have been a Venture game. I don't remember. Anyway, long story short, it was at this exact same point, same situation, but this time if we capped, we won. They didn't quite cap. I got a 3K or a 4K. We kill the enemy team. My Genji pops blade and dashes off the map because he thinks that we've won. Their Tracer triple blinks and contests. We force recall. Then the Wrecking Ball comes in. Then they pop beat. Then they pop, whatever, mines. Or we lost. And we lost the game.
Oh my goodness.
Because he was like, oh, we won, We lost the game.
That is tragic.
Relax, relax. Relax. Yeah, I mean, it was a good ult. It was a good ult. At this point, this thing is already lost here. So, okay, let's tie this up in a nice, tidy little bow here.
Okay.
Sojourn, what do you got to practice? We talked about a lot.
Okay. Definitely, well, just general mechanics, right?
General mechanics. How are you going to practice that? Because that was your question, right? Like, what do I do about this? Okay, general mechanics. What do you do?
Like asking me, like what I think the solution is. I think the solution is probably more unranked deathmatch, but I also think like exposure therapy. I think just plain the game more too, because I'm so used to the Ana matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You're brilliant. Yes, that's exactly it. Okay. What
oh,
else?
nice. So rail discipline.
Rail discipline.
Um,
Not terrible, especially under pressure. Duels, you lose all track of what percentage you are at / what HP your target is at.
yes.
Like you have to talk about like making real-time split-second calculations, right? Like you have to make those calculations in your head instantly. They're about like, and it's just ballpark estimates, right? Like nobody's counting health bars, right? You have to kind of like look at the health bar and estimate if that's enough to be able to rail. And then you have to actually hit the rail. That's a crazy amount of effort and focus, but you got to do it. You got to do it. And that's going to come with time. And it's going to come with, okay, like the second one, how do you practice that one?
Think again, just like more exposure therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm in queue, like in between games, if I'm just doing, what I call like mindless Overwatch with friends, like I've been, kind of cajoling everyone to go into deathmatch instead of playing Pictionary lately.
Okay. Next.
Which has been good.
Next.
I
would say cover. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's huge.
Under pressure, you tend to get undisciplined, antsy. Diagnosis? How do you fix it?
I think for this one, it'll just have to be like level up the autopilot. So I'll just need to spend a good chunk of time like focusing on this only in game. And then if I'm not like within like half a second of cover.
Yeah.
I messed up.
Approximately. Yep. I'd agree with that.
Okay. Another question.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like I've like improved a lot over the past like month and a half, but could I also get like a reality check? I'm like, oh no, should I have improved more in this span of time, or is just everyone different?
I mean, everyone's different, right?
Okay.
Like, not to be really corny, but everyone's journey is different, and I don't know where you started from either. Only you know that. The hard problem is that people are not always super objective with themselves, right? Like we're either too easy on ourselves or too hard on ourselves. So to be honest with you, I know it's really, really fun to be like checking boxes and being like, oh, I got better at this or I got better at this objectively. Like, you can't check your height on the door frame. The only thing you could do is, did the rank go up over the course of a couple of months? That's the only objective measure there is. And even that is only objective in long-term trends, not short-term. So would I say your Sojourn is decent?
Wait, I'm so sorry. I'm getting a call. Can I?
Yeah, of course.
1 second.
Yep, no problem.
Sorry. I told her I was on a work call.
No problem. That's exactly why we're here. Yeah, I mean, I think that like your Sojourn's good. Like it's good. Like you do a lot of things great. It's fine. I could tell your positioning, you put some thought into it. Your mechanics aren't trash. They're occasionally dip out when you're under pressure, but that's just like you said, exposure therapy will and more experience will deal with that. It's fine. Mm-hmm. It's good. And especially with part of the reason why you might be second guessing yourself is kind of one of the cope points earlier, where it is different aim wise, and it is season 10 compression, right? So you might not be used to that.
Right. I think I started in gold and I am now diamond 4.
Well, I mean, there you go. So something's right.
Something's going well. Yeah.
Something's going well. Exactly. Okay. Let's keep going here. I would say disruptor shot.
I would agree.
Position first, then disruptor shot. Don't save it for rail combo if you see an opportunity. I think just more of like using it to help set up your shots rather than the other way around, I think would be useful.
Okay.
Final detail with positioning. Be cautious of tight flanks look for more mid-range angles when possible that you can hold and pressure for longer periods. Situational, of course, but just something to kind of chew on. I think you were forcing too much. But I think overall, like, I would rather you limit test to that extent and then dial it back than the other way around. Having to learn how to position. I don't think you need to learn how to position with Sojourn. You know how to position. You just need to do it better.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was you took pretty much every time I was like, okay, you need to be take out. There it is. There's the angle, right? Like 9 times out of 10, you did a good job.
Right. It just takes me a second to get there.
And that's fine. And that's exactly like you just need the repetition. Then you need, like you said, upgrading your autopilot, right?
Yes.
You did good.
Yes.
You did good.
Okay. And thank you. I know I saw in a video a while ago that you said that Sojourn was like the most boring thing to coach, or you said something like that. And I was like, oh, great, we're going to do Sojourn today.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the number of times that I've coached Sojourn more than anything else. But like, maybe it's the quality of person playing the hero, in which case I think you dodged the bullet there. You're fine.
Thank you. Also, quick anecdote. I was doing like an informal coaching session with this Gold Mercy player I met.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that streaming crashes my computer. And she was not healing her DPS, and so I was like, your DPS are like they're on this off angle, like why aren't you with them? And she said, oh, I was mad at them. I think about that all the time now.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. It's always weird with stuff like that. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I get it. I guess I get it. I guess it's our own form of social punishment, but yeah.
Thank you.